Reflection for Tuesday, August 5th. We all have favorite passages in the Gospels. I know I do. Passages in which Jesus spoke to me clearly and with love. This section of Matthew's Gospel, which is, of course, based on the earlier Gospel of Mark, as well as other material, is a favorite of many, many people. It is a passage which can be understood and prayed on several different levels. Each is powerful in its own way. First, the passage tells us many things about Jesus. His mastery over the water and the wind show us he has the power of God, who alone controls the chaotic waters of creation. He is also a person of prayer, as he spent considerable time alone in solitary places, especially mountaintops, where God had shown God's self to Moses. In rescuing Peter from drowning, Jesus does what the Lord does in numerous places in the Psalms, where faithful individuals are in danger of drowning. He rescues them. This person the disciples were coming to know is both powerful and a person of prayer. Secondly, the passage tells us many things about Matthew's community, the community for which this gospel was originally intended. For many years, commentators and believers have understood this passage in the context of Matthew's community. As we know, Matthew was writing for a mixed Jewish and Gentile community, struggling with a number of critical issues around the identity of Jesus and their own community. Matthew presents Jesus clearly as a teacher, as the new Moses, which was easy for his Jewish brothers and sisters to understand. But scholars tell us that Matthew's community was divided and struggling to come to an understanding of Jesus' divinity. This passage makes the divinity clear by its description of Jesus' power over the storm, and in the conclusion, how all who touched his cloak were healed. Even those who read this or heard it proclaimed in the early centuries of the Christian church could easily see the ship on the stormy sea as the church itself, besieged and tossed on the waves of history, but always rescued by the Lord and always afloat. As the motto of the city of Paris sums it up, fluctuat nec mergitur, buffeted by the storms of history, but never destroyed. We also understand and pray this passage on a very personal level. When we enter into it, we often experience the boat as the church of today, the stormy world, or perhaps our own lives, frequently tossed by stress, conflict, and trauma. Jesus invites us, you and me, to step out into what may be unknown or even frightening. Notice that he doesn't calm the sea until after we have set out in faith. And of course, when we falter, he reaches out to rescue us. Each time we pray this passage, we hear his voice differently as he says, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" Depending on where we are on our journeys of faith, is it a challenge or is it gentle or kind? As you agree with those in the boat that he is truly the Son of God, what emotions fill you? As we contemplate this passage, we might also remember the events of this week 80 years ago, and the people of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and how they might have heard Jesus' voice in those terrible days.